Welcome back to I Confess with Travis. I'm your host, Travis Bartlett, and today we are going to continue this story in part two. I didn't realize that this podcast was really long, but hey, we got to keep the story going. Well, anyway, let's continue with our call.
And then what other weird shit that we do? Oh, in PCP, we would watch Planet of the Apes all the time.
I never saw that. I kept saying I wanted to watch it.
Well, when you're in boot camp, you fucking love that movie. For some reason, everybody fucking loved that movie, even if they didn't like the movie before. Like, it was a fucking their favorite shit. And you know how they say apes together strong in that movie? We would say recruits together strong.
Right.
Well, we did say that. We said recruits together stupid. Because you're a fucking group of bumbling dumbasses.
Right.
And I didn't get into all the weird shit that happened in PCP. Only the moonshine thing. So every single night you have fire watch. Lots of weird shit happens during fire watch. So I'm on front post. There's other dumbass who me and him were supposed to fight, but he was too fucking scared to fight me. I was gonna fight him because he said like my girlfriend was ugly or some shit. So like he said like she's ugly and she's cheating on you and shit. That pissed me the fuck off. Right. He wasn't wrong, turns out. But I'm not gonna get into that yet. So I'm like, alright, I'm gonna fight this motherfucker. So I told him in the shower room tonight we're gonna fucking fight. You know what this motherfucker does? He goes to medical, lies, and says he's sick so he can't fight. I wasn't even that intimidating. I didn't know how to fucking fight. He could have whooped my ass. But because I was larger, my arms looked larger and shit. So I was pretty intimidating because I was fat. So this motherfucker, he didn't want to fucking fight me. He's a fucking pussy. Anyways, he released me from my post. But the female drill instructor, one of them, walks in. During this time, the power went out, which happens all the time. It happened so much I forgot that this even happened until I was starting to tell a story. So we have lights, right? And I'll talk about what happened during the day when the power was out because that was really fucking funny. Because it's reminding me about that. Anyways, I have this light, right? Because the power was out and we had to use our moonlights, we like we put tape on them and we color them so that we have different colored moonlights.
Oh, okay.
Like we in the shower room, we did like a light show. I'll talk about that in a minute. So, I had this green light. The senior drill instructor there, he was like, "You have a green light? All right, tight. Should be a fucking light show."
Right.
He brought over this guy. He was Native American. I actually do want to get into the racist jokes that we always make because everybody was cool with it. We made racist jokes all the time. But he was Native American. He was one of my buddies. In him in PCP. He's like, all right, you're gonna do the fucking rain dance, and he's gonna find this fucking light around.
Right.
So he does. I guess he did the rain dance. I don't fucking know what the rain dance is. So he does the rain dance. Well, I'm shining my light around like it's a fucking party. I wasn't allowed to look into the room though. I was like standing behind there and shining it behind me. Because he was really skinny and he had to eat food after a while. So he does the fucking rain dance. I'm shining light now. I'm trying not to fucking laugh because all I hear is shuffling. There was no music. It was just shuffling.
And wow.
And I'm trying to imagine what the fucking rain dance looks like. And I'm trying to laugh.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen the rain dance before.
Yeah. So, I get done. I get relieved by this dude. The female drill instructor comes out. She decides she wants to fuck with us. So she's like, give me that moonlight. I was like, I am. Give it a fucking moonlight. All right. And then she does whatever she needs to do with it. She gives it back. And she's like, give it to this dumbass recruit. I forgot his name. So I'm just gonna say this dumbass recruit. So I give it to this dumbass recruit. And I say received I ma'am when she gave it to me. You're supposed to you get handed something by a drill instructor, you just have to say received, I, ma'am or sir.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm handing it to him, and she thinks that I said received, I, ma'am to him.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, all right, you want to see received, I, ma'am to recruit? Start saying it to each other. So we pass some moonlight back and forth, saying received, I, ma'am to each other. Try not to fucking laugh, obviously, because it's funny. Received, I, ma'am. Received, I, ma'am. So shit. So we're passing each other this moonlight. We didn't even like each other, but we were fucking laughing because it's funny. So, and then she has enough of it, so she's like, "All right, stop, fucking stop being idiots." She was trying not to laugh because, you know, it was funny as fuck. She's like, "All right, I'm scared of the dark. Shine that moonlight down the hall." You know, because the power was out. So I shine the light down the hall, and she's just walking away. Like, she wasn't scared of the dark. She was just trying to be fucking funny. That's how I got comfortable talking to drill instructors a little bit more. Because when I first got there, I was fucking scared as fuck. I didn't know what the fuck to say to them. But like, she was being funny, and obviously it was supposed to be funny. We're still not allowed to laugh, obviously, but
Right.
So it gave me more confidence to talk to drill instructors from that happened. So that was pretty cool. But when the power was out, we couldn't watch movies, and it was the weekends when we were allowed to watch movies. Somehow, I don't know where the fuck it came from. We got a chessboard in there. Where the fuck did it come from? I don't fucking know. But we had a chessboard, so we were having our moonlights shined on it because it was dark as fuck in there. Fucking playing chess and shit. And it's time to shower, so shit. What are we gonna do? I see that other recruits have like lights, like different colored ones, like one, orange one, yellow, like blue and shit. I'm like, that's cool as fuck.
Right.
I have a moonlight right here. This is the same one that I use. I don't have it green anymore.
Oh, okay.
It has a filter, make it red. Obviously, we weren't gonna make our fucking moonlights red because they're all red.
Right.
So I like, nobody has green. I have a green one now. So we go in the shower rooms, and we have like lightsaber fights in there with the moonlights and shit. I actually set mine down in the middle of the rain room, pointed up. The entire room would be light, and we're like in there, like using them as lightsabers, having like a fucking light show and shit. Going like fucking schoolgirls, having fun.
Right.
The instructors were none the wiser. They probably wouldn't give it a fuck, but they were none the wiser what was going on there. We had to shit when the dark's out, when the lights are out. And for some reason, even though we have free time the entire day, people usually will shit around when they're taking a shower. So like, when I get done with my shower, I'm like, I gotta piss. So I go in there. They have the fucking moonlights clipped to the top of where the door actually is. And they're like sitting there reading books and shit while taking a shit. And we're in there like cracking jokes with each other. Fucking doing shit.
Right.
After that, I don't know why, but there was a reason why one of the showers was not being used at the time. We had like a black trash bag taped on it. It was really fucking dark inside the room. So they were like spurting like, hey, go into the rain room real quick. There's something going on in there. And it's a black wall into there. It was dark because there was no light, so it was already dark. So it looked like it was just suddenly the void in there. And what you would do is they had a bunch of recruits in there acting fucking weird. You would go in there and try not to get scared and come out.
Right.
I fucking go in there. I fucking join the recruits that are being stupid in there. I'm like hanging from the fucking. There's a pipe in there that I was hanging from. Just like swinging and shit, making noise. And some dude comes in, so I fucking grab at his ankle after I jumped off the pipe. He fucking screams, runs out. The drill instructor comes in. What the fuck's going on here? He fucking rips down the goddamn trash bag. Everybody fucking bolts out of there. Because we weren't trying to get fucked up.
Right.
Like, they're not gonna know everybody was in there. So everybody fucking runs out. he's not gonna know everybody who was in there, so not everybody's gonna get fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't really get fucked up,
Mm-hmm.
unless we specifically ask for us to get fucked up,
Mm-hmm.
we did that a lot, and so they would tear the house up because we wanted them to tear the house up. They weren't pissed off at us; they were pretending to be pissed off at us.
Mm-hmm.
But when we ran out of there, Drill Instructor was just sitting there laughing, which was the first time I saw a Drill Instructor laugh, and the last time I saw a Drill Instructor laugh, actually. He was laughing because he ripped that down. It's like 10 recruits just fucking bolted out of the fucking bathroom after he heard like monkey sounds and shit in there.
Oh, wow.
He was laughing. Like, what the fuck's going on in here?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, alright, don't fucking do that shit again, but I don't give a fuck that you did it in the first place, just don't do it again.
Right.
Like, alright. Like, we're like, yes, sir. Because we still couldn't say, like, alright and shit. We couldn't
Right.
be non-drill instructors, because that's, you're not disciplined when you're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, yes, sir. But it was like a laughing, yes, sir. Like, yeah. So, and we had this other drill instructor, well, in PCP.
Mm-hmm.
His name was drill instructor, staff sergeant. No, he was a sergeant, because I remember he was Sergeant Chris. That motherfucker could be a stand-up comedian.
Mm-hmm.
He was sitting there like making jokes, making fun of people like it was stand-up comedy. And then one day he just like opens up like he did. I don't know what the MOS is called, but he pinpointed like coordinates for artillery, I think,
Mm-hmm.
or like for ships to shoot at.
Right.
And he had really bad PTSD because of something that happened there. And he opens
Right.
up about it, and we're like, oh shit, fuck. Turns out that a lot of drill instructors had similar shit happen to them. Like at PCP, we learned a lot about it. Like one of our drill instructors was like, he didn't say what happened, but he's like, yeah, I got fucking PTSD and shit. Like, I'm trying to make you guys good Marines, but you know, I got PTSD, and it's like it fucking sucks.
Right.
He was talking about like going to get help if you have something going on and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after you were already Marine. Like if you were gonna open up about like stupid shit that you did when you were before, you're probably gonna get fucking kicked out. Like,
Right.
if you have mental health problems while you're in, like go fucking talk to somebody, get some fucking help. It's out of nowhere. That was in the training company. Another drill instructor. I don't know what the fuck his MOS was. It was like some spec ops type shit.
Mm-hmm.
But he would I actually think he was recon. Something like that. But he ended up seeing his buddy get shot and fall off a cliff while he was at war. He told us about that shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It got dark there. And then we had, so in PCP we'll have people come in and talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a class or some shit. Like we'll learn about them. Like sometimes we did yoga and shit instead. But we had this Vietnam vet come in.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't participate in this because it was fucked up. It pissed me off when they did this.
Right.
They were going, Charlie's in the trees, and shit like that. So
Mm-hmm.
had a PTSD episode because of it. That shit was fucked up. Drill instructors actually yelled at us like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're supposed to respect these people. You're not supposed to do stupid shit."
Right.
The only reason we didn't get fucked up for that, because listen, we're not supposed to get fucked up in there unless we ask for it. But they were gonna fuck us up.
Right.
They were gonna make us tear up the fucking house. They were gonna yell at us. Like they were gonna do push-ups and shit. The only reason that they didn't do that was because that guy stuck his neck out for us and said it was all right. The Vietnam fat guy. That was fucked up what they did. It genuinely pissed me off.
I bet.
But they laid into us verbally though. They were like, yeah, it was some stupid fucking shit. Again, this was in July. No, not July. This was June. I got kicked out in July. My bad, but this was in June when this happened. So it was quite a minute ago. So I don't remember all that they said to us, but they laid into us pretty fucking good for that.
I can't believe that the way that they were like torturing you guys, like you were like prisoners. You know, I just feel like I felt you guys were being treated like, you know, shit. You know, instead of being treated like, you know, like a normal person. You know, I mean, I get the military, Marines, and other stuff. Like some might treat you like crap, some might treat you like a nice person, but I just think that they need to like control that before, you know, you might have a lot of people that might just don't accept that kind of person, you know? They just don't care.
Yeah. And, well, in RSP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before I went to RSP, I was under the impression that I was going to be there for 3 fucking months,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's going to take forever. Because the drone searchers told us that so that we wouldn't pretend to SI so we can get kicked out.
Right.
They told us all this shit, what happens in RSP, that was all lies. I get there, and I'm like, alright, you're probably going to be here for like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, right?
Right.
I was there for 3 weeks, which was weird. It wasn't supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually know why it happened. So, another company, Fox Company, had an unusually high number of recruits actually like hurting themselves and SIing and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and saying that the drill instructors were doing stupid, like doing shit to them.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, so I had Fox when my drill instructors were getting investigated. They had Fox Company recruits.
Mm-hmm.
Fox Company drill instructors. Those guys were chill. Like we were like he like the senior drill instructor. He called us his homies and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, he wasn't supposed to do that, but you know, he was chill.
Right.
Like, but he didn't do anything.
Right.
Because he's not that type of guy. And also, like the other drone searchers over there, I don't think they did shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they obviously they weren't in the same company. They weren't in the same companies, but they knew each other and shit. But it turns out that entire company got investigated because the recruits in the chain of command the drill instructors in the chain of command were being incredibly harsh to recruits.
Right.
And like hitting them, pushing them, and shit.
Mm-hmm.
The drill instructors, they can put hands on you, and only for some situations. Like
right.
Let's say you flag them with your rifle,
mm-hmm.
like you smack your rifle into your fucking head.
Wow.
Or like shove you. If you got too close to a drill instructor, they could do basically whatever.
Right.
Obviously, like they wouldn't go too far, but the Fox Company drill instructors were like just hitting on people and shit, allegedly. So RSP was just filled majority with Fox Company recruits.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing with the military is they don't like it. They don't like to investigate themselves and get people in trouble who are in.
Right.
So they were trying to get these motherfuckers out fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there watching these people coming after me go home early, and I had to sit there and still be there.
Right.
Even though these people were leaving in like a week from RSP. Unless their paperwork got fucked up. So while I was leaving, I had like some of my friends were from Fox Company. They were talking about like all sorts of fucked up shit. Shit. And the reason that they didn't want them there was so that they couldn't like snitch on the drill instructors.
Right.
So they wouldn't get in trouble. They were just trying to get those people out as quickly as possible so that they wouldn't get any backlash or like, in trouble or anything. So like if their paperwork got fucked up, they stayed there for a little bit longer. My paperwork got fucked up too. So I was there with, I think there was like a couple Fox recruits left.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously more were coming in that were SIing for fake reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Because that happens all throughout training, except for it doesn't really happen when you go to second phase. It happens a lot less.
Right.
So there was only a couple there left. We were all friends and shit. Like we were hanging out and shit. And we finally, finally we're getting separated. You have to go through this whole process. We had this. It was called the Recruit Bible. So you had to like check off shit like that you do. So you have to go and return your CAT card. If you don't have one, like, hey, I didn't get one because I was a receiving drop. Like, all right, just sign your paper. You have to go to the bank too and withdraw all your money from your bank account and close it because you get special. Ooh, let's see if I have it. I don't. So we have when you go to boot camp, you get your own bank account from them. With it was a credit union. I think it was First Nation, some shit like that. I don't know. It's very popular in California though. But only Marines will get like these special cards that have, you know, that one image of the Marines holding up the flag. That's very popular. It has that on there. But no other, you can't get that on a normal credit card.
Right.
You have to close your bank account with them, shit, because the military paid for that bank account. Close it. And so you go to the bank with all your money, and sometimes like you'll be like, hey, do you want like $200? Like you can withdraw like actual cash instead of like a check. So they usually give you a check, but you can also get some cash.
Right.
So 200 was the max. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get $200 in case like I need something while I'm in the airport or get home, so I don't have to go and cash this in before I can start spending my money. So I withdraw 200. That's why I spent $20 on a Monster because I had some money.
Oh wow.
So I left with a total of 2,400, but my check was 2,200 or something.
Right.
So, I had some money on me. Like we would make like stupid bets.
Right.
Money and shit. I never participated in that, but they did. So we had money and had fun.
Right.
And then you go to clothing, and you return your camis if you have them. All camis, except for a couple of like you had your desert pair left. But all of your other camis would get sent to the clothing area so they can get you get USMC and your name on there. So all of mine were already there when I got sent to RSP. So I didn't have any camis. So I told them, hey, they're all here. They're like, all right. I told them I lost my boots, I lost my gloves. And they're like, all right, I don't give a fuck. So they signed my paperwork and shit. And then I kept that shit. And then you go to another warehouse where you return your war belt, your canteen pouches, and your Gore-Tex and the tarp. I kept the tarp, and I was going to keep the Gore-Tex. Obviously, I didn't get to. I didn't have a Gore-Tex to give to them.
Right.
So they told me to come back, and I did. And they're like, you don't have it? I'm like, nope. The training company kept it. And they're like, which company? Gulf Company. They're like, all right. We'll just ask them for one.
Right.
So they did. They didn't have a fucking Gore-Tex. But I got away with it. It's their fucking issue now. But so I kept a couple of stuff from there. I kept a canteen pouch. I don't know, I lost that. But I had 3 canteens because one of the ones that I was issued initially, I think someone pissed in it. It smelled terrible. It didn't taste right.
Right.
So I bought an entire new canteen from them. From the what's it called? It's a little store that they have. And you go there and buy shit. So I bought a canteen. So I had that. So I was like, fuck, I bought this canteen. I still have the original 2 that I was issued. I wasn't keep this canteen because I bought it. It's fucking mine.
Right.
I kept that. And I kept a canteen pouch because I had this canteen. Might as well have the pouch to put on one of my backpacks.
Right.
Because you get like your backpacks. If you buy, you weren't supposed to keep the sea bags, but if you buy a sea bag, you can keep it. Everybody buy a sea bag to bring home with their other shit. I ended up buying an extra backpack with what they're called day packs. I have one right here. Lots of airsofters will buy them. I have
Oh
mine.
yeah, I've seen those.
So yeah, you'll have these, and the canteen pouch I can connect it right here if I wanted to.
Mm.
I don't have it on there right now because I lost it or some shit. And there's like miscellaneous stuff that you were gonna keep if as a
Right.
Marine. You can keep that shit for the most part, as long as it's not like stuff you're gonna give back or
Right.
like stuff that have the EGA on it. It's obviously supposed to be on military uniforms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of regret not keeping the dress shoes that they give us because they're basically just dress shoes.
Mm-hmm.
They they're not specifically a military issue.
Mm.
They're just there's not like a specific design for them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're just dress shoes.
Right.
I should have kept those, to be honest. So I have like a nice pair of shoes to wear when I have like got to go out somewhere, like
Right.
or like a wedding. If I have to go there,
Mm-hmm.
I have to dress up nice. I didn't keep that, but I should have, because it was. I have a very strange foot size,
Mm-hmm.
so all of my boots and they give you Go Fasters, which are shitty sneakers that are so horribly uncomfortable, and for some reason I was embarrassed to tell them that they didn't fucking fit, so I just kept, and they were too small for me.
Mm.
So I had small ass fucking Go Fasters. I couldn't replace those, but my boots were wrong, and they were like, "All right, you go replace your boots."
Right.
I replaced my boots not because they didn't fit. One of them didn't fit, but because they got fucked up, like they were broken.
Mm.
You're not supposed to replace them because they're broken, but I just like, hey, these are broken, but they still don't fit either.
Right.
Like, all right. So they gave me a new pair. But if you cannot get the same size, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So you just keep yours if you don't need a different size.
Right.
And my jungle boots were really fucking tight on the front,
Mm-hmm.
but that's because it was fucked up on the front, not
Mm-hmm.
because it was small. So I tried to replace those, like fuck you.
Mm.
So I just went up a size, and then I ended up keeping my combat boots instead of my jungle boots, which I should have kept my jungle boots because they were broken in and I wore them all the time. But my thinking was, oh, I'll just get new boots. But
Right.
those ones fit perfectly, and the combat boots that I kept are a little bit too big for me.
Mm-hmm.
I still have them. They're nice to have. They do have the EGA on the side, but at some point I'm gonna see if I can fade it out so it doesn't show up.
Right.
And I use them like while I'm working and shit because they're nice.
Mm-hmm.
They're durable. They're not gonna fucking break on my stupid ass. And obviously, I brought the Go Fasters home, not because I wanted to keep them.
Mm-hmm.
They caused my feet so much fucking pain, and I wanted to burn them.
Right.
But yeah, I ended up fucking throwing them in a fire pit and burning them.
Mm.
They were so fucking terrible.
Right. Mm.
You could buy insoles at the PX. I remember the store is called the PX.
Mm.
I just remember what it was called. And so you can buy insoles there. I bought insoles, and I didn't want to bring my nice shoes to boot camp because I was worried that they were going to get fucked up somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we would have to keep those all through boot camp and like running them and shit.
Right.
So I bought Walmart shoes to bring so I can get my nicer shoes fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible idea. Walmart shoes suck. But they were significantly better than my Go Fasters because, yeah. But my feet ended up getting smaller at boot camp because I was not fat anymore. So those didn't really fit very well. And turns out when I got home, all of my pants don't fit. My shirts don't fit. My underwear don't fit. My belt doesn't work anymore. I had to fucking put a whole new notch in it. So I had to replace all my fucking clothes. I picked too much, like, this shirt's too big for me. This is a large shirt. I wear medium now. So, you know, majority of my clothes got fucking scrapped. These pants, they still fit perfectly fine. Because it's just like, it's like a pajama pant. Like, they're sweatpants for running and shit. That's what I got them for. But they're comfortable as hell, so I still wear them. But yeah, most of my pants, I kept all of them. because I only got like 5 new pairs of pants.
Mm.
So whenever I put my pants on, put my belt on, they're all fucking bunched up around my fucking waist and
Mm.
shit. So I don't have fucking money to go out and replace my pants.
Right.
I'm not gonna do that right now.
Mm-mm. I wouldn't spend it all in one day. I would just wait maybe a couple weeks or maybe a month or so, and then just get some more.
Yeah, I only bought like 5 new pairs of pants.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have very many. Obviously, you can't live off 5 fucking pants. So
Right.
I still do need to go through them and get rid of the shit that I don't need. Because I have so much shit in my room that I have nowhere to fucking put it. So there's a fucking tote with a pile of clothes on it.
Mm.
My dresser is broken, and nothing fits in there either because it's a small fucking dresser. But none of my clothes fit after boot camp. Fucking, I'll get into what happened there. So I go and separated, right?
Mm-hmm.
We get to make phone calls every week. We go into. So when you first get to boot camp,
Mm-hmm.
when you're doing your fucking contraband, you go make a phone call. You have a script you have to read, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
good evening, ma'am. Recruit Carpenter has made it to boot camp. Love you, type shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we go into the same room in RSP to make our phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm fucking like talking to my girlfriend and shit. Like we're having like I'm making plans. Like I'm gonna come see you, type shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because she lives in California. I live in Indiana. We used to know each other,
Mm.
right? She's like, you changed. You're a different person. I don't know if I love you anymore. You gotta wait. And I'm like, fuck. Setting the fucking phone down. Fucking so not fucking.
So it's like she wanted you to become fat again.
No, it wasn't because it's because my personality changed.
Oh yeah.
She wasn't ready for that level of maturity. I guess I don't fucking know. Anyways, turns out she was cheating on me in boot camp. Which fucking sucked, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I get back. She's in my friend's group chat, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And she was dating this other dude that was in there, and so one of my buddies, he's going to become a Marine soon.
Mm-hmm.
He's dating my friend Eric.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gay lovers. They're engaged now.
Right.
Cute as fuck. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric is dating the guy who Eric is dating is her cousin.
Mm.
He was added to the group chat because she was his cousin. Me and him are still friends.
Okay.
And they get into this argument because this other dude that used to live with Eric as his roommate was fucking my ex.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're arguing about it and shit. That's how I found out that she cheated. Because they were apparently doing that while I was boot camp and shit. So that was fucked up. I pissed me off. She was still like, wait. I was like, alright, I'll wait. And then I found out about that shit. I'm like, fuck no. And also, I'll admit, I'm a homosexual, right? I like dudes. The only reason I was dating her was because I was under the impression she was a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like females because of their personality and shit.
Right.
Because I would be considered bi, but female, like their personalities piss me off.
Right.
So the only reason I was dating her was because she was I thought she was different.
Mm-hmm.
She cheated. He cheated on her recently.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's doing fucking crack. Straight up. Like, I'm not even fucking kidding. She's doing cocaine and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking serves her right? She's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
She fucking deserves it. I hope she gets better. Because I'm not a fucking awful person. I don't wish people that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She deserves it, and she needs to fucking learn. Like, she was before going, like, all about maturity and stuff. Like, actually working on life. And then as soon as I was ready for that stuff, and I matured, and I was an adult and shit. She was 19 and I was 17 at the time. But I was 18, finally, an adult and shit. And she's like, I'm not ready for that stuff. Like, you're changed. You're a different person.
Mm-hmm.
And she changed too. She's like, I changed too. You're a different person too. Like,
right.
Like, that's bullshit. If you actually love somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say that because she was like breaking up with me. I was just fucking slaying the phone, stormed out of the fucking room, got pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And the entire time I went through boot camp, I had this fucking crystal necklace that she had given me. And I'd wear it when I could. When you go to religious
right.
stuff, you're allowed to wear necklaces and stuff that's religious. Crystals could be considered religious, so I would fucking wear it. And I'd wear a fucking ring. I kept the ring because now I'm dating somebody else. Right? And I fucking rip that shit off, fucking throw it. My friend's like, "What the fuck you storming out of there for? Like, what the fuck?" And they're like, "My fucking girlfriend fucking cheated on me, bro." And they knew that I actually did like dudes, but I was dating her because she was different. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm never going back to females, bro.
Right.
And like half of them were gay. They're like, yeah, like, bro, like, dudes is where it's at. I'm like, fuck yeah. And then well, I have this awakening there where I realize I don't think I'm a dude, right? I have not transitioned yet. I have not done anything of that sort yet. But I'm going to. At some point.
Okay. So you're thinking about like doing like a sex change kind of way? Like turning yourself into a woman?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Because before then, I had long hair. I was a feminine ass dude, but I was a little bit larger. Like I'd wear like femboy clothes and shit. At that point, it was like either I'm a femboy on the internet and like I do stupid shit,
right,
fun, and just do whatever the fuck I want to do, or I'm gonna join the Marines.
Right.
I got kicked out of the Marines. Fuck it, I'm gonna go back to that shit. So I do. Right. And then while I'm there, I'm like, shit. So like, I was talking to my buddies like, shit, I think I'm gonna transition after I get home. He was like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, go ahead, have fun. So like hyping each other up. He was hyping me up. I was like, yeah, like fuck yeah. Because I was sad as fuck, obviously, because my fucking girl just cheated on me. Right. By the way, my birthday is on July 13th. While I was in RSP, 4th of July happened. Right. She broke up with me before I turned 18. So after, like, it was after, right? So she broke up with me around 4th of July. So like 4th of July happens, right? We weren't allowed to go out to the fucking fireworks.
Right.
But we snuck out the fucking back and we were like sitting there fucking watching the fireworks and shit. We could. Like it was only a couple of us out there. Like I did that to, I don't want to see some cool shit going on.
Right.
Like, explosions, fuck yeah, that's cool shit. I think the reason that the drill instructors didn't let us see the fireworks was because they probably could have had a PTSD episode in front of us. So all the drill instructors like in their little quarters having fun. And we weren't supervised. Some of the drill instructors went out to see it. Some of them went into their like areas and stuff to hide away from us just in case something happened. Because these are sergeants. They've been in the fucking Marine Corps for like 6-8 years. Sometimes, right. So obviously, that war in Afghanistan or whatever that was going on around that time. So some of them were there. And you got IEDs and shit that happen. So explosions could set off their PTSD.
Right.
That makes sense why they weren't letting us see it. But some of the drill soldiers were going to go see it. We got pissed off that they weren't going to let us bring. They weren't going to bring us.
Wow.
So we like most everybody went to bed. But we decided, fuck it, we're gonna go watch fucking fireworks and shit. So we sneak out there. We brought our little stools. We fucking sat there watching shit. There were trees over there, so we barely saw anything. But at least we saw some fireworks, right? But there's usually fireworks every night, though. At least there used to be when I was in PCP. Like we'd see fireworks sometimes. I think Disney's around that area. I think that's what that was about. But we stopped seeing that stuff happen so often. Like when I got into the training company, I didn't hear it, I didn't see it, even though I was really close to the area I was in PCP where we were able to watch the fireworks from Disney. They said it was from Disney. I don't know shit about where Disney is. I don't know if it was just people setting off fireworks every night for no reason, but
Right.
I completely forgot about that at that point, but that was months ago at that point. 2 months, but we were sitting there fucking watching fireworks from Afghanistan. And random fucking, like, I think it was a first lieutenant, was walking around the area. He's like, what the fuck are you guys doing out here? He's like, we're watching fireworks. He was like, get the fuck back in there. We had to jump out of the window to get out there, by the way.
Oh, wow.
So it's like the window is about like knee height up
Mm-hmm.
to like, basically the ceiling, and they open up outwards.
Mm.
So we jumped out of the fucking windows to watch the shit. Like, get the fuck back in there, dude. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing out here? He didn't like snitch on us or anything. Like,
Right.
he was cool about it. But like, stop being fucking dumbasses.
Mm.
Yes, sir. Be fucking jump back in there.
Mm.
That was the end of the fireworks. But it made me feel better about it.
Mm.
The drone instructors actually told us, "Oh, you guys are getting letters from your girlfriends and shit. They're cheating on you. Jody's got them. If you watched Jarhead, you'll know what that means.
Mm.
Jody's got your girlfriend,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, my girl's loyal. She ain't gonna do all that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, she did. Fuck it. It's been months. I don't really care anymore.
Right.
I got a different lever and shit. Like,
Mm.
I was pissed for a while, and then I was like getting hyped up with my friends and shit, and then watching fireworks like a couple days later. So it was lit.
Mm.
My mom was telling me about this car that her friend had when I called my mom.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Oh yeah, he has this little Mazda car." I'm like, "Fuck yeah!"
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't fucking know cars. I mean, she was a car salesman, but she doesn't know what the fuck it is.
Right.
I get home, right? I look at the car, $600 for a car. I fucking took that car.
Mm-hmm. That's not bad.
So I was under the assumption that there was a coolant leak, and that was pretty much the only issue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, the car had been sitting for 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
so the battery. I mean, it's not obviously that the car was sitting for 3 years, but obviously the battery's dead from that.
Right.
So I buy a new battery because the battery's been sitting for a while. Why the fuck would I recharge the battery?
Right.
I get a new battery, right? Wrong fucking battery, but the car does start to turn. So maybe it's not as bad.
Mm.
So the car fucking runs, it moves and shit. So we were gonna like move it around to like see how well it was working. Turns out no fucking brakes at all.
Wow.
So I'm thinking it's a brake fluid issue. So we bleed the brakes. I didn't know how to bleed brakes, but I learned while I was doing it. I do it right. All of the old, we were just trying to bleed the brakes, so we were topping off the brake fluid, but we fucked up so many times while trying to fix it. All of the old brake fluid got flushed out of the car.
Oh wow.
I ended up buying 2 whole bottles of brake fluid because I was stupid as fuck. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And that didn't fix it. So the guy who sold me the car, he's a mechanic buddy. So he calls him up. He fucking takes the tire off. He's fucking with the brakes. He's like, "Oh yeah, this seized as fuck." So there's a tool that you can like. Sometimes if the brakes are seized, you can fix it. He tries. There's no fucking chance.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna have to buy new brakes for the car. And he like his car only gonna cost around $500. And yeah, he was right. It was about $500 for those brakes.
Wow.
I don't have money for that shit. You have to replace the entire brake caliper.
Right.
So I don't have money for that yet. So I'm looking for a job so I can get that shit.
See, I don't know nothing about cars. I just use them till they break.
It's a Mazda 626. It's a very boring car. It's super fucking reliable. It has a V6 in it, so it's not slow. They move.
Right.
It's a really speedy car, and it has aftermarket speakers in it. Not like big ass subwoofers in the back, but like in the door panels. Like it has nicer speakers put in there. I think it's pretty fucking good sound quality. The stereo is nice. I mean, you can connect your phone to it. It has the cassette tape because it's a 2002. So I'm about to, when I start driving my car around, I'm about to put a cassette tape to phone adapter in there. But new battery, right? I turn the car on sometimes to move it around. I do an oil change on it. All of the tires are expired on the car, and one of them was not airing up. So I take it off. It's on jack stands. I actually bought an entire jack set for the car. It was over $100. Expensive. have it on jacks, and we fucking take the tire over to the tire place the tire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was before we found out the brakes were shot.
Hmm.
So we move the car, find out the brakes were shot. Fuck, there's nothing we can do. So we tow it over to my house. So it's just sitting there now, and I sometimes turn the car on to fuck with it and clean out the entire interior because the interior was nasty as hell.
Right.
So it's nice in there now. It doesn't smell bad. I went to a trunk. The headliner is all fucked up, but I can just replace that. I know how to do that. It's for like $40 for an entire new headliner, like a junkyard or some shit. Anyways, I go to turn it on at some point. Well, I don't turn it on. I fucking click the button to unlock the doors because I was gonna clean it. Battery is dead. So somewhere I have a wire that has somehow shorted out or something, and there's a battery. So the battery is kind of, I mean, the battery is fine, but there's a battery drain somewhere.
Right.
So that shit ran out of power. I mean, it wasn't already dead when I tried to unlock it. It just like, I could tell that it was weak when it did it, and then I tried to turn the key, and it didn't. The starter wasn't powerful enough to start the car.
Right.
And then the battery died. So I couldn't turn it on to get the alternator to.
See, I messed up my car. My first car I bought was a Toyota Camry '97, and apparently I wasn't taking care of it because, you know, I was drinking, drugging, you know, whatever, didn't know what I was doing. Of course, you know, I basically got to the point where I accidentally hit something on the side of the road, which I forgot what that thing was, but it's like it holds up the wheels on your car. I think it's called an axle or something.
Yeah, probably your axle or tire rod.
Anyway, apparently, when I went to go get it fixed, they said it was going to cost like $2,000 to repair it, and I didn't have the money. So what happened was they said the car was going to be really dangerous to drive, so I'm still driving it, even though they told me not to drive, because, like I said, I don't have money for a new car.
That wouldn't be your axle then.
Yeah, but anyway,
another one was.
But anyway, what happened was they told me not to drive it, but I still drove it anyway. I drove it to work, basically drove it to other places. Don't ask me how I didn't get the oil changed, but that oil has not been changed in like 2 years, and I was surprised that car did not catch on fire. Because I remember when I applied the brake, the little light was coming on, and I was like, why is my oil light showing up? And I took it to the mechanic, and of course he's yelling at me about the oil, and I said, well, I didn't know if they're, like, you know, because I thought oil was like gas, like, you know, like when you run out of gas, you got to fill it up. I thought that's basically what oil was like. Well, I didn't know you had to have your oil changed every couple, you know, 1,000 of miles or whatever. And like I said, 2 years later, I was surprised that thing didn't burst into flames.
Yeah, you're supposed to replace that.
Yeah, and now with the wheels on the front of the car, about a year later, my brakes gave out, and I had to pump the brakes to stop so I wouldn't like hit somebody. So I'm over here like driving. I'm like, oh my god, I'm literally punching the brakes with my foot. I'm like, just stop. When I tell you how scared I was like, this could have been dangerous. I mean, I could have listened, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But it happened was like when I left my house, I applied the brake at the stop sign, and I'm like going, and I'm like, why am I going? Like, I literally put my foot on the brakes. And I was lucky that there was literally no one there to hit me, or I would have hit them. I was glad that that didn't happen. But then I was headed straight to work, and I had to pull over at the Publix right here in Macon, and I was like 15 minutes late for work, so I had my sister to come pick me up and, you know, drive me to work. I called the towing company. I gave them my sister's number so they can get a hold of her while I'm at, you know, work. She followed them up and said, well, she followed them up, Apparently at the shop they said that my brakes have been messed up. They were been rubbing on the wheels because my axle was messed up. They said the wheels were coming off. They said they didn't know exactly what I did to the car. But what happened was the next day I had a day off, and my mom took me car shopping, and I basically found me a car. And don't ask me how I'm taking care of this one, but it's right now I still got like less than $7,000 to pay it off. But with the other car, the Camry, they said it was going to cost $1,000 to repair, whatever I did. Then they said, and with the towing fee, it was like $65 to tow it to the shop, $65 to tow it back to the house. So I gave my mom like the $130 to pay that, so I can go ahead and give her the towing bill that I owed her. Now, like I said, the next day we went car shopping. I got me this nice 2016 Nissan Optima. One of the hubcaps is missing. It's got a couple scratches and dents because of me. But there ain't any lights on it.
That's just cosmetic stuff, though.
Yeah. But there is not really much of a light on my car. I mean, on the dash. But there is one light, and it has to do something with the airbags. Now, I talked to the people to see how much it was going to cost to fix it, but they said it's going to cost like $2,000-$3,000 to get that replaced and fixed. They said they have to take out the seat and all this stuff. I say, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's not like anyone else rides in my car but me, because like I'm like the only one who drives the car. No one else rides with me though. So I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I mean, it's not that big a deal. Everything still works.
Yeah. You could ask them to clear the code, though.
Well, I'm not worried about it, so that can stay on. I mean, it's nothing bad or major, so I'm not worried about it. But, the car is... The only thing I like about this car is, like, when they say it's, like... I don't want to make it sound like it's, like, heavy. Kind of like military heavy. I'm not trying to make it sound like that. Like, let's say if a tree was to land on top of the roof of my car... They call it like a hard top or something. So like, let's say if a tree falls, I'll be okay. So I won't get like a head bleeding or something, Like if I get into, let's say, an accident or something, But anyway, thank you so much for actually telling me your story.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good one, guys.
You too. I really do like his story about how when he talked about that, how he was in the Marines. But what got me the most is the way he was telling me stories about what people do in the Marines is basically what you actually hear in prison. What really got me the most is like when he starts talking about like what people did like in the Marines, like showering or getting dressed and stuff like that. And I'm like I would be embarrassed. Like if I was in a room with let's say like 20 men or more or whatever, and we were all getting dressed, or let's say like we were butt-ass naked, like I mean I would get so embarrassed. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I used to be embarrassed for my parents to see me in my underwear when I was a kid, but that all changed when I got a little older, and then I got to where all I did was basically run around in my underwear in my own house, but all I can say is, I don't know how, but you would probably get used to it if you were in that situation. I mean, I'm not making it sound like a little kid, but like if you're an adult going to like prison or the military or whatever, and they have you do stuff that basically might make it sound dumb and stupid, it just makes it sound like you're in jail, like it's like, let's say if someone wants to drop the soap, you do realize you're probably going to end up getting raped. That's just the number one thing, so you got to be careful with stuff like that. The only thing I don't understand is why they were not allowed to wear underwear. That's another thing. That would bother me, like, you're not allowed to wear underwear, period, but I'm like, and they're wanting you to wear like these swim shorts. Like, what are those supposed to be, like your underwear or something? I don't understand how, the world has gotten to. I mean, the way he made it sound like is that he was like in this crazy boot camp where you couldn't wear certain clothes or whatever, and I just think it's just, like I said, it just feels like a prison to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have been to jail a couple times before, but it's not pretty. So all I can say is, if you decide you want to join the Marines, military, whatever, just so you know, what you've actually heard on this podcast is going to be like stories of how you're going to be like in prison, even though you're not in prison. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, I didn't realize that this podcast was going to be really, really long. Like, this is like the second part 2 of the podcast, so this is like a total of 2 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and get off. If you guys actually like to be on my podcast, please text 478-901-4445. That's 478-901-4445. And I will talk to you guys next week.